Excellency, what are the specificities of the Holy See diplomacy compared to that of other countries?
Well, I think the specificity of the Holy See, it is exactly what it is in the way to be very close to the people where, for example, the nuncio is, because there is always a very connection between the nuncio and the people itself, people in the sense of the significance of a people of a nation. And at the same time, to have a universal vision of the context. So the Vatican diplomacy, as you called it, it is that. It is at the same time to be very close to the problem on the ground and to have a universal vision of where this is, if you are in Africa or if you are in South America or if you are in Asia. You have always both universality and really the regional or the national, the situation, the country where you are. That it is a diplomacy, and with what we could have. After you have a specific also presence in the multilateral organization like United Nations or Council of Europe, not European Union, because European Union is not an international organization, so it's totally different. But that it is a specificity is more to be always very universal, but at the same time close to the people.
Is it a nuncio equal to an ambassador? Is it an apostolic nunciator equal to an embassy, or they are different?
No, the apostolic nuncio is an ambassador because he's an ambassador accredited to the state, and at the same time he has an accreditation to, of course, the Catholic Church present in the country. But the apostolic nuncio, it is the ambassador of the Pope to the government, and it's why you have a credentials. It's exactly the same situation of an ambassador. The word nuncius, it is in Latin the word will be translating by ambassador. Yes. So is that, and it is mentioned in the Convention of Vienna on the diplomatic relations.
In 1979, correct me if I'm wrong, you joined the diplomatic service of the Holy See. What brought you to do that?
Well, you are never a candidate to work in this diplomatic service. In my case, it was, of course, I was studying law before to enter to the seminary. I was doing a thesis on international law, but it is my bishop, usually it's a bishop, who is proposing this. So it's more or less a normal appointment in the church. You are not candidate to go to Rome for for studying at the Pontifical Academy, who is a school for the future diplomats of the Holy See. So you are never a candidate. You are presented. You are chosen by your bishops, but you are never coming to see. Well, I want to be.
The Holy Father, Pope Francis, accepted your letter of resignation. So you will soon leave from Brussels and you will move to the Vatican. Do you have a message or an advice to your successor? And do you also have a message to the EU and to COMECE?
I don't think it's easy to give an advice, but it is more to say a few words of conclusion of a mission. And I think what I could say to who will be coming after, first of all, is to believe that you can do something. It's not you are not just appointed there. You have to be moved by a conviction that you can do something for the relations between the Holy See and the European Union, with the European Union is absolutely a new new things in the history of Europe, and the new things also in terms of in the history in the world. We have not yet something like the European Union. So first of all is to believe that we can do something. And when I came here, I was convinced it was absolutely necessary to establish a real dialogue. We speak a lot about dialogue, but it's to be convinced that dialogue is not a vain word. That is something that we can do. And of course, is why when I was presenting my credentials to the president of the Commission and to the president of the Council, the European Council, just smiling, I was saying, I came here as a diplomat, not as a Swiss guard. It's very important to be convinced that diplomacy can work and to promote. What I think is very important for who is coming here is to be convinced that we have to promote something, to promote what it is good also to be always in relation with the reality of the country, if you are appointed in a country. But in European Union, you are facing a reality where you have many countries, many peoples, many traditions, many cultures, where you have more or less the former superpowers of the world. Everyone has its own history. We have to find also the way to dialogue. We know that, for example, we could not agree on certain questions, but that we know that already, and we can fix that. We know that we disagree on few things, but we have to see also what it is positive and what has to be promoted, that we can really to have a dialogue with, and is what it was my intention, as not to be just a few people who are speaking, as to be an institutional dialogue between institutions. That means what we have in Rome, what is existing, the dicasteries, the Secretariat of State, and European Union, the institution of European Union, Commission, Council, Parliament. We do for the good. We have always to consider the good of the people, for example, the good for the European people. And that the good of the European, it's what we have this dialogue, because the Holy See is very connected with each one of these people, of these countries who are composing the European Union. And at the same time, is always what I told you before, we have always the good of the people and the universal context.
Do you actually also have a message to COMECE?
COMECE can help, first of all, to promote also this dialogue with the institutions of European Union. European Union could know more about the feeling also of what the Church is living in each one of each country. The COMECE is able to understand more what is the difficulty to put together people who have a different approach of life, a different approach of situations. And we know that also in the Church. The European Union can consider that what we say, it is also not just what an authority is saying, but what the people is living. And on the other side, maybe in the Church to facilitate also what it is important for the European building that of the common house, it is because in the Church we have something unique, which is a spirit of communion. So the COMECE has a special mission inside the Church, present in Europe, to facilitate, to promote the spirit of communion between all the Catholic communities present in the different countries. And it is to facilitate that it will be some contribution at the same time to what Europe has to be, because the project of Europe is peace, is cooperation, is security, is a lot of things it can be done just with the spirit of union, and union is not unification. Union is the real word for us as Christians, and that maybe the COMECE has to promote is the concept of communion. For me, the European Union of today has to be convinced they are just on the beginning. They are not at the end. They have a lot to do, a lot to work, to build. And not just to say we have the institution. It's true for all things, because you can have the best institutions in the world. You could have the best constitution. You can have the best treaty, but the quality will be not coming of the text. The quality will be coming of the people who will be implementing the text. And that it is where, as I said sometimes, as you are yourself Italian, you know that Cavour said, we made Italy, we have to make made the Italian. I think we have to try to do the European, but the European doesn't mean that the cultural differences are disappearing. It is all the opposite. It is that all peoples are considering with respect and with what the Pope Francis called in his last encyclical this social friendship. That it is because, as sometimes I say, fraternity, natural fraternity, it is the result of is not what it is exactly what we mean by fraternity as a Christian, because fraternity for a Christian is what you build, is not what you are.